This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 214, Suddenly Out of Love. How Did It Happen? By Corbano of lovesagame.com. Happy Thursday, everyone. I'm Joss Marie, your host and personal narrator, and this is the show where I read to you from some of the best relationship blogs in the world every weekday, just like an audiobook or audio blog. Today, I have a post from Corbano of lovesagame.com. Through his work, Eddie aims to help his clients by using their breakups or divorces as catalysts to turn their lives around and become better versions of themselves. Breakups are tough, but know that you're not alone. In fact, you can meet a bunch of other like-minded people right in our Facebook group who may even be going through the same exact thing as you. To join, simply search for Optimal Living Daily in Facebook and request access, or the shortcut link is oldpodcast.com/Facebook. And with that, let's hear today's post from Eddie and start optimizing your life. Suddenly Out of Love. How Did It Happen? By Corbano of lovesagame.com. It seems to be a complete mystery to fall out of love, something we cannot understand, and yet it happens every day all around us. People who used to love each other madly suddenly fall out of love, just like that. What are the reasons? Sarah's story. Sarah and her boyfriend had been the perfect couple. It was as if they had waited for each other their whole lives. They had the same hobbies, they liked the same things, they see each other as soulmates. This went on happily for 2 years, the perfect relationship, until her boyfriend suddenly started to pull back, to act strange, and get distant. Eventually, he broke up with her. When she asked for the reason, he replied that he did not love her anymore. Sound familiar? Has this also happened to you or someone you know? A disappointment. Isn't true love meant to be forever? Well, I cannot give you an answer to this one, but I can advise you that you need to examine your perception of true love. I can tell you, all that glistens is not gold. A high expectation of true love and a distorted romantic view of the ideal concept of love can disturb the view to having a fulfilling and healthy relationship. To read more on this topic, check out How I Found the Definition of True Love. A realistic view is vital. What is the main reason that people fall out of love? Of course, there are numerous reasons why people break up, but they are not always the same ones as to why people fall out of love. The term to fall out of love implies that they've been in love before, and all of a sudden, the love is gone. This is, of course, an illusion. Nobody loses his love overnight. In my experience, there are 3 main reasons why people stop loving and therefore break up with their partners. Number 1, their expectations weren't met. If you meet a person to whom you are really attracted to, you tend to idealize things. You fall in love with that person because everything is so new, so fresh. This is great. You're having a great time discovering all the positive attributes of your partner. All your needs and expectations are being addressed, and when they're not, you simply put your rose-colored glasses on. The problem here is that your view of your partner is not always a realistic one, because everyone gives their best, tries to show a better self, and to hide possible flaws. We accommodate and compromise much easier at the beginning. The problem here is that they met each other's expectations at the beginning, but later on in the relationship, when the fire has cooled off a little, they tend to pull off their masks and show their real selves. Now suddenly, there is no more compromising, no more accommodation, no more meeting the partner's needs. Just the pure, unfiltered them. And here is where it can lead to conflicts, because someone will not have their needs fulfilled and will feel betrayed in a way. This is usually the moment when the person falls out of love. Number 2, was it love in the first place? Another problem is that people very often cannot say if they're in love or not. They confuse sexual fulfillment with love. This happens very often to young people or people who have been in a long-term relationship or marriage for a lot of years. They confuse the initial fulfillment of a need which has not been met for a long time with love. Once this urge has been satisfied, this doesn't always have to be a sexual need, they suddenly lose interest and fall out of love. Of course, it wasn't love in the first place, and that's why the whole thing appears to come out of the blue. Number 3, mistreatment. Unfortunately, it happens frequently, especially with men, that they start sweet and kind, and later on they become loud and abusive. Violence is, of course, the most extreme case. Very often, the partners suddenly change their behavior in ways that cannot be tolerated anymore by the other one. Good examples are drug and alcohol abuse. The partner finds that they are very disappointed and lose their love because their basic needs aren't provided anymore. The relationship isn't fulfilling and healthy. Conclusion. The knowledge of the 3 reasons why people can fall out of love can be helpful to us. They can teach us how to behave correctly at the beginning of a relationship. We have to have realistic expectations about love and relationships. And most of all, we have to be who we are right from the beginning. Make clear what your needs are, despite the risk that your new partner might not love it. Pretending and cutting back your basic needs will only draw a false picture of you, a picture which will fade with time and possibly make your partner eventually fall out of love with you. Would you take that risk? I won't. Your friend, Eddie Corbano. You just listened to the post titled, Suddenly Out of Love, How Did It Happen? By Eddie Corbano of lovesagame.com. Thank you to Eddie for letting us feature his content so frequently here on Optimal Relationships Daily. It's super valuable, and I know many of our listeners appreciate your insight, so thank you again. Also, if you'd like to get in touch with us or simply meet other like-minded people, join our Facebook group. It's the quickest way to get our attention. And not to mention, we do random book giveaways on here, so keep your eyes peeled. To join, simply search for Optimal Living Daily in Facebook and request access. Or the shortcut link is oldpodcast.com/Facebook. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me here. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you again tomorrow with a post from scienceofrelationships.com, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode, and head to oldpodcast.com, that's OLDpodcast.com, for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.